Alright, so once again, our objectives for this afternoon is, of course, we are about to learn to find the area of irregular figures. Okay, and we have to discuss first some of the terms or vocabulary. So we have here composite figure. So what is meant by composite figure? So a composite figure is made up of simple geometric shapes such as triangles and rectangles. So the following examples that we answered a while ago, okay? So those are composite figures, okay? So you can find the area of an irregular figure by separating it into non-overlapping familiar figures. Meaning, if you are going to have, or if you are going to solve area of irregular figures or shapes, the first thing you are going to do is to divide this into non-overlapping familiar figures. As if, for example, you divide that one into a rectangle, a triangle, a square, a parallelogram, because we already know how to compute no composite figure or area of composite figures. Okay, and then find the sum of the areas of these figures so that you can have the area of the irregular figure. So later on, you will have, we will learn by giving some examples. You can also estimate the area of an irregular figure by using a graphing paper or graph paper, or for this example, so if you're going to use the computation part.
Amazing place, a home that we all can share.
Alright, so find the area of the irregular figure, use the value for pi. But there are some references that the value of pi, they are using 3.1416. And sometimes they do not extract already the value for the pi. They just have pi as it is, as pi, the symbol of pi. But in our case, since you are already given an instruction that you have to use the value of 3.14 as the value of your pi, then you just have to replace pi is equal to 3.14.
How can I repay?
Okay, so again, the first step, as what I have mentioned a while ago, mo lang separate or just divide the figure into some familiar figures like a square, a rectangle, a triangle, a parallelogram. Okay, so separate the figure into smaller or familiar figures. So as you can see on our screen, we can find a triangle, a semicircle, and a trapezoid or a parallelogram. Okay, then find the area of each familiar figure. So find the area of the triangle, find the area of the semicircle, find the area of the trapezoid or the parallelogram, and then add these areas. Now, if you are going to get the sum of these areas, then that would be the area of this irregular figure. Right? So find the area of each smaller figure, area of the parallelogram, starting with the area of the parallelogram. Okay? So use the formula for the area of a parallelogram. So that's base times height. So substitute 16 for the base and substitute 9 for the height. So the area would be 16 times 9, and that is equal to 144 square meters. Okay? So that is only the area of your parallelogram. Alright? Now let's proceed to the second figure. So after the parallelogram, we can have another figure, which is the semicircle. Okay, so the area of a circle is given by the you have pi r or 1/2 pi r, kay semicircle man siya. Okay, so substitute the value of your pi as 3.14 and 8 for your radius, right? So 8 is the radius because the diameter is 16, alright? And in finding the area, we just need to have the value of our radius, and we know that radius is 1/2 of the value or the length of your diameter, okay? So if you're given a diameter of 16, therefore the radius of this circle is 8, okay? Because again, radius is half of the diameter. So multiply, so approximately 3.14 times the square of 8, and then you get the half of the product. So approximately you have an area for this semicircle is equal to 100.48 square meters. Okay, so you have now the value of the two figures, the parallelogram or the trapezoid, and then the semicircle. Now let's proceed to the last figure, which is the triangle. Okay. Or just add the two, no? Wala, pwede na to dili na gamitin ang triangle because we already did the computation for finding the area of the parallelogram. Okay? So, kani siya na figure, di na kailangan. Kay ato na magigamit, no? Okay, so we have only two figures created or divided. We have the parallelogram with 16 and 9 as the height. And then we have this semicircle. Since you have already the area of these two figures, okay, so all you have to do now to find the area of this irregular figure as a whole, you just have to get the sum of the two areas, okay? So that's 144 square meters plus 100.48 square meters. So that's equal to 244.48 square meters. And therefore, that's the area, no, of the irregular figure, okay? Alright, so for number 2, example number 2, find the area of the irregular figure. Use again 3.14 as the value for the pi.
Eagle in the sky when I look into your eyes.
The sunset's warm embrace gives delight in many ways, and it comes
So you are given there the length, no? That's 9 yards, 8 yards, and 3 yards. So divide, I guess we can divide the irregular figure into two figures. Now we can have a square and a triangle. Let's see. Yes, that's correct. Now separate the figure into smaller or familiar figures. And for the first figure, we can have the area of a rectangle. Okay, so we can have the area of the rectangle having the length of 9 yards and 8 yards, no, as our the width. So use the formula of the area of the rectangle. We can have the length times the width. The length is 8 and the width is 9. So all you have to do is to multiply this 2. So 8 times 9, that's 72. Alright, that's 72 square yards. And now for the second figure, we can have the triangle. Okay, so the area of the triangle is given by the 1/2, the product of base and height. The base is equal to 9 and our height is, and our base is equal to 2 and our height is equal to 9. So 2 times 9, that's 18, and half of 18 is 9. So the area for this triangle is 9. So we have now the areas of the two smaller figures, the rectangle and a triangle. The third step now is to add these two areas. So the area of the rectangle is 72 and the area of the triangle is 9. So 72 plus 9, that's equal to 81. Therefore, 81 square yards is the area of our irregular figure. Alright, how about for this example number 3? Okay, the Wrights want to tile their entry with 1 square foot tiles. How much tile will they need? So as you can see sa ato figure on screen, you are given a figure having the dimensions of 5, 8, 4, and 7. So they are going to tile, no, this one. So pila ka tiles ang ila kailangan using a 1 square foot tile. So of course, we can now use, no, the stages of polya or polya stages of problem solving. First is to understand the problem. So rewrite the question as a statement. Find the amount of tile needed to cover the entry floor. Then list the important information. So the floor of the entry is an irregular shape. No, we know that the figure is an irregular shape. So the amount of the tile needed is equal to the area of the floor. So, meaning, for you to be able to determine how many tiles the rights needed, ang ila kailangan, you have to find first the area of this irregular shape, no? So, make a plan. That's our second step, is to make a plan. Find the area of the floor by separating the figure into smaller and familiar figures. A rectangle and a trapezoid. Then, add the areas of the rectangle and trapezoid to find the total area. Okay? So, as you can see, sa to figure diha, we have divided that one. No, we have divided that one into two figures. Okay, so ato na siya tungaon diha. You can see a broken line there, color red broken line. The above figure is our rectangle and the bottom part is our trapezoid. So, we have two figures, no, created. So you have to find the area of the rectangle and then find the area of the trapezoid, then add the two areas, then that would be your total area. For the computation part, find the area of each smaller figure. So starting with the rectangle, we know that the area of finding the rectangle is length times width. So 8 times 5, that's 40. Okay? And the area of the trapezoid is given by the 1/2 times the height times the two bases. Okay? The base 1 and base 2. So that's 1/2 times the quantity 4. We have base, first base is 5, and the second base is 7. So get the sum, 5 plus 7, that's 12. You multiply that one by 4. So 4 times 12, and then half of it is equal to 24. Okay? And then add the areas, no, to find the total area. So 40 plus 24, that's 64, meaning the rights need 64 square feet of tiles. Okay? Muna ang kadaghan nun, no, or kadakon, no, sa tiles nga ila kailangan. Meaning, since ang usa ka tile is 1 square foot, so the rights will be needing 64, no, 64 ka tiles. So the area of the entry must be greater than the area of the rectangle. So the answer is reasonable. Okay. So the Franklins, number 3. Now the Franklins want to wallpaper the wall of their daughter's loft. How much wallpaper will they need? So you can see on our figure, right? So we have the dimensions 18, 5, 23, and 6. Okay. So you can divide this, no? Upon seeing upon observing our figure there, we can see that we can actually divide, no, this irregular figure into two smaller figures, and these are rectangle and a triangle. Okay. So you can have, you can rewrite, no, the question as a statement. Find the amount of wallpaper needed to cover the loft wall. Then the wall of the loft is regular shape. We know that, no, using the figure. Okay. The amount of wallpaper needed is equal to the area of the wall. So as what I have mentioned a while ago, that we can actually divide, no, the figure into two familiar figures. We can have a rectangle and a triangle. So first is to get the area of this rectangle, and then get the area of the triangle, and then get the sum. Okay? So our solution for that, find the area of the rectangle. So you can have the length times width, and then 18 times 6, that's 108. And how about the area of the triangle? That's 1 of BH. Okay, base is 5, height is 11. So 55 divided by 2, that is 27.5. Okay? And we know that we have to add these two figures, the area of these two figures, to find the area of the irregular figure. Okay, so that would be 100 plus 27.5, that is equal to 135.5 square foot or square feet, no? So that would be the Franklins need 135.5 square feet of wallpaper.
My weary heart soars high like an eagle in